Hello, and welcome to Every Day is Funny, the meditative morning show about newspaper comics. And I think the newspaper comics side of things is pretty obvious and well defined. But I want to examine the meditation side of things. Is this a meditation show? Just because I speak kind of softly and play that music underneath? Well, dictionary.com defines meditate as simply engaging in thought or contemplation. So I suppose in that regard, it could be a meditation show. But I wanted to put that to the test and see what might work as a meditation and what doesn't. So, I'm introducing a new segment that I call Will It Meditate? And in this segment, I'm going to take some kind of speech, musical lyrics, movie dialogue, whatever it may be, and I'll read it under this guise of meditation with this music playing in the background. And we will all decide, is this a proper meditation? Just because I'm repeating it softly under some light music. And so combing through the annals of various speeches and documents, I did want to start with one of our country's most storied and treasured speeches. That's right. It's when Jeb Bush launched his campaign for president in 2015. So I'm going to read part of Jeb Bush's campaign launch speech. And I ask that you just close your eyes, listen to the words of Jeb, and we will decide at the end, is this a meditation? All right. I'm not going to read the whole thing, just a selection. Close your eyes. Let's hear from Jeb. Thank you all very much. I always feel welcome at Miami-Dade College. This is a place that welcomes everyone with their hearts set on the future. A place where hope leads to achievement and striving leads to success. For all of us, it is just the place to be in the campaign that begins today. We are 17 months from the time for choosing. The stakes for America's future are about as great as they come. Our prosperity and our security are in the balance. So is opportunity in this nation where every life matters and everyone has the right to rise. Already, the choice is taking shape. The party now in the White House is planning a no-suspense primary for a no-change election to hold onto power, to slog on with the same agenda under another name. That's our opponent's call to action this time around. That's all they've got left. And you and I know that America deserves better. And not a one of us deserves the job by right of resume, party, seniority, family, or family narrative. It's nobody's turn. It's everybody's test. And it's wide open, exactly as a contest for president should be. My message will be an optimistic one because I am certain that we can make the decades just ahead the greatest time ever to be alive in this world. That chance, that hope requires the best that is in us, and I will give it my all. I will take nothing and no one for granted. I will run with heart. I will run to win. It begins here and now, and I'm asking for your vote. Thank you. God bless you. Wow. Powerful stuff. So just think about how you felt. Oh, feel free to open your eyes if you didn't do that. And think about how Jeb's words made you feel under this little synthy meditative music. Does this count as a meditation? Will it meditate? That's for you to decide. I'm just the meditation messenger. All right, let's move on to the comics. Also, before we get to the comics for today, I do want to read some late submissions for our first ever caption contest of a clown receiving a tattoo. Again, feel free to go to everydayisfunny.com to take a look at the image in question. But I'm just going to read a few extra submissions that came about in the last day or so. All right, the real Rex Morgan, MD, has a caption, first from the point of view of the tattooing clown. Yeah, being a clown scientist didn't allow for enough artistic expression. And the clown receiving the tattoo says, "This hurts more than you said it would." I love it. Andrew has 2 caption submissions. The first being, "Jesus, Jim, this is some great ink. Now give me some Rex Morgan right on my tuchus." Complimenting the quality of ink. Do you think anyone out there has a Rex Morgan tattoo? Probably not on their tuchus. I'm gonna dismiss that idea immediately. But maybe, like on the shoulder. I mean, this thing started in the 40s. I bet there's been some soldiers that went into battle with Rex Morgan labeled on their arm. I don't know. Andrew's other submission. Ronald, clowns like us know all too well what it's like to be laughed at. Maybe with this sick tat, they'll finally take me seriously. And finally, John, with his caption, "Are you sure this leaf dragon won't come to life like this mouth you gave me?" Finally, someone mentions the weird tattooed image. A leaf dragon, that's a good theory. Man, so this tattooing clown has some magical powers with that needle. Also, his mouth came to life. Does that mean he has 2 mouths, or did it replace his original mouth? I shouldn't be looking for deep answers in these, but great work again, everybody. Thank you for the submissions. I suppose I'll keep taking any late submissions that anyone has, but maybe next week or later this week I'll try and come up with another AI-generated image to caption. All right, let's get to the comics. All right, I want to start with some Dennis the Menace. I feel like we haven't returned to that well enough. Let's give it a gander. All right, we have Dennis eating some cookies, and his mom and grandma are looking through a family photo album. Grandma says, "One time George and I tried to go down memory lane. He forgot to put gas in the car." What? One time George and I tried to go down memory lane. That's such a smart alecky comment. You can see why Dennis has become a bit of a trickster, because he grew up listening to people like these who can't give a straightforward sentence, and everything's a metaphor, and God. Like, look, Dennis is listening. He's overhearing this. Of you offending, I presume, your late husband, and wrapping it all in some symbolic language. Of course that's going to lead to a troubled adulthood. for young poor Dennis. And who faces the brunt of all of this? No, it's not the Menace family. It's the poor neighbor. All because this grandma couldn't speak normal. All right. Let's move on to Barney Google and Snuffy Smith. We read this once before. It was very old school. A lot of old prospector-looking types chatting amongst themselves. Let's see if that's still the case. Yep, does seem to be the case. An old, bald, short man is talking to a cook. He says, "What's for supper, Ma?" Ma says, "Possum liver and onions, dandelion greens, and Brussels sprouts." Another man says, "Quick, little tater, we gotta get in some trouble fast so we can get sent to bed without supper." So even in these like olden times, in this kind of backwoods sort of area, that's not delectable? Even just like the Brussels sprouts? I get the possum liver and onions, but Brussels sprouts are good. Oh, but they are kids, and kids, especially like cartoon kids, hate their vegetables. What's going on with that? I feel like this is one of the origins of that classic idea of kids hating vegetables, is cartoons. Why are they doing that? Cartoons have the power to change children's minds. And I feel like they should be out there. I feel like there should be a comic strip about like a vegetable who's a superhero. Broccoli Man. And Broccoli Man's powers, you might ask? I don't know. Okay, let's move on to Rex Morgan. Now, when we last checked in with Rex, we had stumbled upon an alternate family that we have never seen before in the Rex Morgan universe, the Vidpas, I believe, whose husband was writing a graphic novel about a kitty cop. So let's see if that's still the case today. Nope, a totally new man, one of the oldest men I've ever seen in my life, is now on screen. Hank Sr. continues to draw commissions for his fans, but only when he feels like it. And he says, "What'll it be today? Work or the Thin Man movies on Blu-ray?" Thin Man it is. And then they cut to two new people. Hank Jr. and Yvonne are enjoying their retirement. Travel is their thing. Yvonne says, "Here's the information on the Alaska cruise." Hank Jr. says, "Sounds fun, but Bermuda's warmer." Okay. Fascinating. So, wow, I don't even know where to start. Now, for weeks, we have covered not only the same family, but their one very specific problem. Now, within 2 panels, we've covered 3 different people. We're moving at like the speed of light. This is like the equivalent of when we got cars and moved on from horses. This is unprecedented. Now to go to the specifics here. Hank Sr. is a cartoon drawer, but he likes to just sit and watch The Thin Man on Blu-ray. That's a very specific, bizarre reference. And it seems like he continually just sits in this recliner and watches the Thin Man movies. Also though, we look at this couple. She's very excited to show him this brochure, her husband, about the Alaska cruise. And now he's bringing up that Bermuda is warmer and maybe they should go to Bermuda instead. She got the pamphlet. She seemed like settled on the fact that I wasn't going, I almost said we, that you were gonna do Alaska. And now you're introducing some new little thing in retirement. And she looks crushed. Like, did you not make it clear that you weren't 100% on Alaska yet? This is really interesting. I like going to all these different characters in the Rex Morgan universe. I think we should keep it up. I don't know who these people are in relation to Rex, if this is Rex's dad and brother. I have no idea. But what I do hope is that this woman gets to go to Alaska before she is dead and buried. Okay, let's check the comments. Nambarek says, well, for my taste, having been both places, I'd point Hankerino toward Alaska, but either way, get him and Diner Bride out of the strip. Whoa. A little hostile. I don't know why Yvonne is referred to as Diner Bride and why he has such a problem with them being in the comic strip. Nambarek, don't you want a little bit of a different storyline? You want to just go back to the dog thing? David Ricard says, go to Alaska, get eaten by polar bears. Again, very hostile. Man, I want to bring these people on the show because obviously they're the audience that I'm catering to. But they are very strange and they're not the same mindset as these comics are. These comics don't seem to have a community that matches their tone, which is very interesting. Or maybe they do, but they're just not being read on comicskingdom.com, I suppose. All right, let me think of what to comment. All right, I'm gonna go with a simple comment from the point of view of Yvonne. And she's gonna say, but honey, the brochure, I took hours to go and get it. I skipped church. Send. All right, it's time to wind down on this Tuesday, May 21st. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. And remember, every day is funny.